Hi everyone, it's Lisa from A Simple Season. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. Today I have a banana bread recipe for you that will rock your world. I do something a little bit unusual with it that I'm pretty sure you've never seen before because it's my own creation, but it creates a beautifully moist, delicious loaf. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is mash up our bananas. So I have 3 wonderfully ripe bananas that I want to use up. So I've just taken the 3 of them and put them in this bowl and mashing them up with a fork. You can use 2 bananas as well. I just had 3 that I needed to use up, so that's what I'm using today, but 2 works fine as well. So our bananas are mashed up and I'm gonna set these aside and we'll put together the rest of the ingredients. In here I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and to that I'm going to add a teaspoon of baking soda, about 1/3 of a teaspoon of salt, and 2/3 of a cup of sugar. The recipe calls for brown sugar. I make my own brown sugar by adding molasses to the wet ingredients. So I just add in 2/3 of a cup of white, and then later when we do the wet ingredients, I'll add a little bit of molasses to make it brown sugar. And then I also add in a 1/2 cup of walnuts. You don't have to put this in, but I really like the flavor with the walnuts, and I just think it adds such a nice texture as well. So that's it for the dry ingredients. Now we're just going to mix everything up together in the bowl. Now we're going to add our wet ingredients. So this is a 1/2 cup of sunflower oil, and you can use any neutral tasting oil. So it can be canola, sunflower, vegetable, anything like that. And we're gonna put in 2 eggs. And we're also going to add in our 3 mashed bananas. And now we're going to combine everything together with the spoon. And I almost forgot, but we want to add in about a tablespoon of molasses. And we just mix everything up. I don't use a stand mixer normally or a hand mixer when I make cake or quick breads or muffins. I don't know why, it's just how I do things. I will use a hand mixer if I make like whipped cream or something like that, but whenever I just do basic things like cakes or muffins, I always just mix it by hand. And I've just taken my loaf pen and lined it with a bit of parchment paper, and now we're just going to pour the batter into the loaf pan. So this is where it gets interesting because I do something unusual with my banana bread, and that is I make a crumbly topping for it that is just so delicious. And how I do that is I just take a bowl and take 1/4 cup of graham cracker crumbs and put that in the bowl. And then to that I add a heaping tablespoon of sugar. And then I also add 2 tablespoons of either melted butter or margarine and just combine that in there. And now I just stir it up together until it's crumbly. And now what I do is I take the crumble topping and sprinkle it over the top of the banana bread. And once it's sprinkled on the top, I just take the back of my spoon and sort of press it in just a little bit so that the topping just becomes embedded in the top of the banana bread. And this, in my opinion, is the difference between good banana bread and amazingly delicious banana bread. So that's done. Now we're going to pop it in the oven at 350 degrees and let it bake for about an hour. So I've taken the banana bread out of the oven, and as you can see, my husband's already gotten into it.
Oh sure, blame me.
Well, you did have a piece. Was it good?
Yeah, it was awesome.
This beautiful crumbly crust is just what makes it. So I'm going to spread a little bit of softened butter on this, and this is going to be so delicious with a nice fresh brewed cup of coffee. So this is the perfect recipe to try if you've got some extra ripe bananas sitting on the countertop that you're wondering what to do with. So thanks so much for joining in, everyone, and stay well, and we'll catch you in the next one.